Hello everybody, I hope you're all keeping well and staying safe at the moment. I know we've still got a couple of people joining us right now, so just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Haylie, I'm the Education Consultant here at Education City. Prior to joining Education City, I was actually a primary school teacher, so I can appreciate how hard you're all working right now, and I hope that our webinars will support you in supporting your pupils with continuity of learning in this strange time. So today's webinar, we're going to be looking at the best practices for schools on using Education City for distance learning. I know some of you may already be using Education City, but in these next 15 to 20 minutes or so, we're going to cover the basics of Education City tools for home learning purposes. Just before we get started, just to let you know a couple of areas, I should make you aware that the subscription that I'm going to be using, so the Education City site that I'm going to be using, is a fake school that has been completely made up. So the children don't exist, the staff don't exist. Just so you know, I'm not breaking any GDPR rules by showing you those names. I should also let you know that it is an English account that I'm using. But if you are joining us from Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, or anywhere else, don't worry. What I will show you is available in every other account that you log into. It's just that we'll be looking at links to the national curriculum in England. Finally, if you have any questions, please wait till the end of the webinar where I will be able to provide you with my email address, and then you can send them over to me. And hopefully I'll get to reply to you as soon as I can with an answer. Okay, so we'll get started, shall we? Okay, so this is our agenda for this webinar. This is what we're hoping to achieve. So we're going to look at logging into Education City, how teachers can create groups, My Cities and other content that we have available, including looking at a student view, and also how we can track student progress. So if that's all right with everybody, we will get started. So what's first? Let's head over to Education City and I will be able to show you. So this is your Education City dashboard. Some of you might use this version. This version is still in use, but the new view, which is this one just here, this has been designed by teachers for teachers and is a lot easier to navigate. So this is the view that I'm going to be using for today's session. So users and logins. Now, if I head over to the manage users area just over here, you'll see there's like a little icon just there of like a teacher and a pupil. Click on one of those. You'll see this is where you can find all your student teacher logins. Now, if you are the administrator for your site, you will be able to add students and teachers into the account. However, if you are a teacher, you will have to go to your administrator to get your Education City login. And if you are a parent listening today, hello, thank you for joining us. You can contact your school or the teacher at your school, and they should be able to provide those logins for you. So let's have a quick look at how you are able to upload students. Now, there's a couple of ways. If you're a teacher, you might just want to do it via student individually. So you can go through, add a student, and then anywhere that there's stars, you can add those students in and pop in those details, and then just make sure you save it at the bottom there. It is the same process for teachers. Again, just going in, you can edit your details just there as well. Sometimes the password provided might be sort of a combination of letters and numbers. You can go in and you can edit your username and password in the same way. But if you are the admin for account and you are looking to upload all of your students, what you need to do, upload and edit. Now, this will open up this page for you. What you can then do is upload a CSV file, and this is something that will be saved from the school administrative system, so your MIS, whether that's Sims or any other type of admin system. Or the other thing you can do is open up our sample spreadsheet and input the data manually, and then just save that, and you can paste it into this box in the middle there. Then all you need to do is click on next and follow through those 4 stages until you click OK at the end, and that will upload all of the students for you. Now I'm just going to head back. I want to leave, don't want to make any changes yet today. If you are looking at student logins, one thing that we do have, which is very useful, if you click into the box next to all of the students there, we have the logins and we have a parent letter. Now, within the parent letter, it will show parents how to log into EducationCity, where to find us, and it will also tell each parent what their child's login details are. Now, they are designed for printing purposes, but there's nothing to stop you from saving those and sending them over as emails to each parent. You can do that, that is not a problem at all. Okay, so let's head back to our presentation. We've looked at what we're doing first of all, setting up users. So now what? Well, for you guys as teachers, once you've got those users set up, there are a number of tools that you can use which are really beneficial. If I just head back to this area, so we've got our students, our teachers, our administrators, and in the green area, we've got our classes, and we also have our groups function. Now, the groups function is really, really useful tool. If I just open that one up there, what this does is it enables you to create groups of children in your class, but also across the school as well. So, for example, you can see there's a couple of groups for each year group, but you might also have groups for maybe tests or pupil premium, or for our Scottish listeners today, pupil equity groups, or even to track the progress of the SEND pupils in your school. Now, because you can see everybody's groups, it's always worthwhile popping your initials or your class name in front of the group name just there. And as with everything else in EducationCity, follow those orange buttons. So add the group just there, and then you can give the group a name and pop in any notes that you need to pop in. Now, the children cannot see what group they're in, nor can they see the notes. They are just for you. And obviously other teachers will be able to see those when they log in as well. So pop those in, and then you can search for your student via their first name. So for example, I can type in Brandon, search for Brandon, and there he is just there. Alternatively, if I'm looking to create a group in my class, what you can do is type in your year group or your class name, and you'll be able to see all of the students in that particular year. Then what we can do is select the pupils that we want in that group, move them across, and you can see now that they are in that group, ready to be saved. It's exactly the same process if you didn't need to delete pupils from a group. Simply go into the group, select the pupils that you need to delete and remove. And then obviously you need to save that afterwards. If I just head back over to groups, these come in really, really useful throughout EducationCity, whether you're setting assessments or setting work for pupils. So let's head back over. We've looked at logging in, we've looked at our groups function. What's next? What work? The work that we have available for you to use, for you to set essentially for your students. So again, let's head back into that folder. I'm just going to head back to the home page. You've got the home page just here. Now you can see this has had a bit of a revamp. These 3 tiles will actually link you over to your curriculum map. So in this case, for England, it will take you to the national curriculum. So you can go in through this area, you can find the tools that you're looking for, have a look just there, have a look for the objective, and you'll be able to see all of the tools that we have that fill that one objective. And over on the right hand side, there's our plus sign, which I hover over. You can see you can add to a My City. Now, what is a My City, you might ask? So they are here at the moment, so you can set work for students. I just click onto that one just there. There we go. And it will open up the My Cities for you. So students can see both classwork and homework within their accounts at the moment. And that is because Education City has upgraded accounts to ensure 24-hour access to all students and staff. I would advise, though, stick with homework. This is purely because when children get back to school and you're still sending home homework, they can carry on using that homework function in their account. So homework, we want to go to a new homework, give this a title. Some options might pop up just there. I'm going to look at setting some times tables work for my pupils, and I'm going to create that folder. Now it will immediately take you to this page. You can edit any areas that have got the little pencil mark just there, so we can change colours of these if you want to, maybe for different groups that you're going to give this to. Click on OK, and you can also add little comments or prompts for students. So I might write here, practice your timetables. There we go. Whatever you need to write in there. Also really useful if you want to give feedback to a student, maybe they've done something previously, you can create this file. I know you're experiencing difficulties with division, or you need to practice your noun work, whatever that is, you can type that in there and then you can start adding the tools in. So I'm just going to save my changes and then we can start adding content. So I'm going to click on this button just here and I'm going to search for multiplication. So loads of tools will appear that will meet that particular phrase or that particular keyword. We can go through and we can filter our year groups that we're after. So I might look at lower key stage 2 for now. I definitely want maths. And then it comes to all of our content types. Now we have different content types that do different things. I'm going to cover these very briefly. Look out for more webinars in the future where we're going to go into a bit more detail. But for now, we might start with a think it. Here we go. They're easily identifiable via this little thought bubble just here. And they're really useful for investigation work or for mastery maths in terms of reasoning and explanation, using what you know and understand about an area to explain your answers. So again, going to have a look at that. Gives us a bit of a rundown just there. We have our info button that tells us how it links back to the national curriculum objectives. And again, if you're in a different country, don't worry, it will tell you how those link back to the objectives for where you are. And then wherever we've got that lovely orange plus sign, we can add tools in just there. Now, the next thing I'm going to look for is a learn screen. However, what I want to show you is that you do have access to different levels. So don't worry about maybe using a different level of work in order to explain or to challenge your pupils. So we can have a look here and we can go through and we can see what there is available simply by scrolling down the screen there. Now, again, we might take this a little bit further. We might look for division maybe, if we want to challenge pupils even further. And there we go. And we've got our tools just here. Now you can see that both of these learn screens have the same name. And that's because they follow on from each other. We've got number 1 and number 2. So these are sort of a series of learn screens, as you will find throughout Education City, that follow an area of work. And we can pop both of those in if we need to. It might be worth noting as well, puppy in the window just there, a lot of our activities are linked with Learn screens. So you can see there are some activities that are linked with those Learn screens. And this is to save you having to hunt around for things that match up. It will tell you if there's that link there. So you can see puppy in the window. We can add both of those in if we need to. Now, Learn screens, as you can see just there, they're kind of a combination of a slideshow and a video. You can select a slide or you can just watch it from start to finish. And they're really useful for introducing new areas of work or for refreshing an area that has already been taught. Activities, they're exactly what they say on the tin. They are activities. All activities that are completed on Education City are marked for you. So I may be able to hear a few teachers cheering in the background there. But they are marked for you, and their scores will go into a child success tracker. So you'll be able to see the scores that those children have. Maybe monitor their progress as well. And now at the end of all of this, they've done their thinking, they've gone through that information and maybe done an activity, maybe done an activity sheet as well. We can pop one of those in. All of our activities come with an associated activity sheet, as you can see just here. And I have been reliably informed that the questions are different, so there's nothing to stop you from using both. We might finish by using a Play Live. There it is just there. Now, Play Live is a really useful online game. For maths, it comes in addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and it does try to secure child's instant recall skills. But because you have so many lives, it also secures a child's accuracy whilst they're playing those games. So let's pop that one in just there. And we might want to look for multiplication again. And we can pop that one in as well. Now, for those of you teachers who may be worrying that children aren't doing their multiplication check this year, please don't worry. We do have our multiplication checks on here as well for you. As you can see just there, you've got your 6-second one as per the government standard, a 10-second and a 20-second one. So children can build up their skills and their confidence as they go through. They can keep practicing, so let's maybe pop the 10-second one in there and they can keep having a go just there. When you're happy with everything you've got in your folder, as we are now, click on to done and you will see all of those tools in the folder ready to get started with. Now you can move things around a little bit if you want them to do this maybe before they start playing the game, we can pop that in. Maybe if we want to delete something as well, we can hold down or click out and we can delete that. Now, if we drag towards the top, I'm just going to save my changes. A useful function that we do have is a sequenced function just there. So you can click onto sequence and you can see now things are locked in that order. So a child has to go through those stages in order to complete that area of work. And then all you need to do, I'm just going to save that again, is work your way along those blue tabs. So students, this is where that groups function comes in very handy. We can find the group or groups that we want to issue this to, and we can save. And then comes your preferences. Now you know your children, you know what's going to work best. You know the minimum score required for a certificate, whether they want a countdown clock on there, and whether you want them to be able to quit or finish an activity if they're finding it too difficult. The ones that I will show you at the bottom here relate to our Play Live. Now, when the children log in, their username and their school name becomes their player name. You can turn those off just here if you need to, and then they will only appear as player 1 or player 2. I'll just go back up to the top. If we do want to give these to students, we do need to publish it. So click onto yes, and then you can publish it indefinitely, or you can schedule a time frame. And that's it. That is how you give work to students, and then you can start tracking who's done what. click on the tracking tab, and you can see by this colour coding system what's going on there. So really, really useful tool, the My Cities there. Now, you may be wondering, how do the children see this? So let's have a look. I'm going to log in as a pupil, and this should be able to show you what the children see. Let's just log in there. Oh. And obviously make sure England is correct if you are in England, or your country is correct there. And there we go, the children have logged in. Now this is their classwork and their homework. So that homework that I've set, there it is just there, and they can keep practicing their times tables. And then obviously they've got their classwork there as well. Now the other tools we actually have here is they have a revision journal for any assessments that the children complete. Again, all assessments will get marked for you, but for all of our formative assessments, it will create an independent revision journal for the children based upon the questions that they've gotten incorrect. And that will appear here. Just wait for that to load. For any assessments that they do, even if they do the same assessment more than once, they will still get a revision journal for any formative or unit tests. Doesn't seem to be loading today. I bet a lot of you are on at Education City tracking that, but I can assure you they will appear just here. And the great thing is that our computer will recognise foundation skills that are needed in order to fulfil that area, and those foundation skills will go into that revision folder as well. For example, if a child gets all the fraction questions incorrect, then maybe they'll get both fractions, multiplication and division areas. Now, although we've set that work, the children also have access to our pick and play, so our subject area just here, where they can go in, they can find a piece of work that they're doing. For example, into year 4, they can practice their times tables with maybe one of our lovely videos there and our multiplication sheets. So they can practice their skills there with those activities. So let's head back to the home page as we discover then what. Well, then what, you can track all of your progress using the success tracker just here. Open that up. You can look for a particular date, for a particular time of year. I'm just going to go into one of those, and you can look for a class, a group, or an individual. So go, and you'll be able to track all of that progress, see the scores, the dates that things were done, the year groups that they were in when they fulfilled those, and you can export that data if you need to for any report. So again, a really, really useful tool. And again, although all of the tests are cancelled at the moment, you can still check on learning and attainment and use the My Cities to address gaps and any misconceptions. So that is just about everything for today. Please do send any questions to me or any feedback that you have for the session. There we go, there's an email address there, and you can also visit our website. Please make sure you type the word webinar in the subject box so that they will come directly to me, and I will aim to answer those as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. Please join me for tomorrow for our next webinar, Ideas for Distance Learning. Don't forget that all webinars are also recorded, so you can revisit them at any time on our YouTube channel. And again, we will let you know when those are out. So any of you that maybe joined a little bit late or missed the end of the session, don't worry. Keep your eyes open for future webinars, and we are planning more, so please let us know if there's something you think it would be really useful for you guys to know. I do look forward to hearing from you all soon, but until then, please stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.